Hello and welcome to Dum Dum Die, an original D&D podcast set in my world of Kalandos. And who is my and who is me? I am Carla, the game master, and that came out weird, but we're going to stick with it. So basically, we're an all-female, all-awesome D&D group. We've got some new players, we've got some experienced players, and we have a relatively interesting / new GM, which is me. I feel like this is a lot about me. But anyway, this is our first episode, and we're going to be celebrating Women's Month. And I thought it was quite apt that we are all women players, that we would celebrate it. So this episode and the first one or two sessions is probably going to be quite female-focused, although two of our players are not playing females. So we hope you enjoy, and let's roll. We start in the town of Wristrin, which is all the players' hometown. And they are in the very aptly named, yet unimaginatively named, drinking pub of Ye Old Drinking Place, owned by John Green, the human, who is, in his line of family, probably the most creative. He added the Ye Old to the drinking place before it used to be called just the drinking place. We find ourselves in the tavern with John Green behind the bar, sitting, possibly sleeping, I'm not sure. And where are all our players?
Damn you, Darby, you beat me again.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I think we should have another round. What do you think? Oriole?
We hear two voices from the side of the tavern, sitting on the edge of the bar, possibly gesturing towards John Green, who is aptly attempting not to notice them.
Well, if you want to play again, hang on. Let me find out if Oriole's got some extra coinage.
Oriole,
Yeah?
do you have some extra coinage?
Hold on.
As Oriole the half-elf digs into her coin pouch, which she finds is oddly light, she looks at the half-orc Darby, whose mixtures with magic has often made their accent changeable.
I have one silver piece.
Give it to me.
Okay.
Says a dashingly handsome half-elf.
Here you go, cousin.
Okay, Darby, we're on.
Okay.
As the coin pot exchanges hands, John Green's face lights up and he walks over to Xantilarian and Darby and Oriole. Do you guys want another round?
Yes, give us your best. The stuff that comes from rain.
Yes.
Show me the money. As Xantilarian lifts up a silver piece because our player, Wednesday, here is holding up her hand, which is the best kind of podcast, is when you use gestures. So as she raises her hand, as Xantilarian, the male half-elf, raises his hand, we're holding the silver piece, John looks at him quizzically and says, "The best. Well, I can give you one. Well, I can give you one glass, which is half filled for that."
What do you think, Darby?
Oh, I think that, you're so pretty.
John starts to back away and takes out a glass. It's for those of you looking closely, Oriole notices that it is one of the smaller glasses from the bottom shelf, which he proceeds to fill with a milky brown substance, but only halfway. He places it down in front of Xantilarian and Darby. "Give me the silver piece."
How about this, John? Let's play a game for this piece, and then you give us 3 drinks. If I win, right? No, listen. And then I wink at him.
John sees you winking at him. It doesn't seem to have an effect. You have lived in this town a long time. John does know you quite well. At that, John sighs in relief and raises his hand as someone walks through the door.
God damn it, John. I need some help. One of the horses outside ran over one of my bottles. I think we're going to be short this month.
John takes the silver piece from Xantilarian and is like, "I know exactly how much is in the bar." And he starts heading out to go and assist with the horse.
Okay, so take that one, and that one. And what is with you underpaying me again this month?
Well, you see, Xantillaran played a game with me, and I thought I could make the money to pay you extra, and then
How
you
many?
have horse troubles, you say? And he runs out the tavern.
Damn you, John.
Rain!
Hey there, Oreo. How's it going?
Good and you.
Good. What are these guys up to? I heard they gambled my money again.
They're playing stuff again.
Playing what exactly? Hey, Zant, when you gonna give me my money? John told me that you guys have my money.
The word you're looking for is had your money. But, you know, Rain, we can exchange other things.
Not this again.
Everyone roll perception for me, please. What did you guys get?
9.
9.
14.
14.
13.
13.
8.
8. So, only Oriel, who wasn't involved in this conversation, sees, stepping out from the backside of the bar, a small gnome woman who peers around the corner, looks at the dwarven female who's just entered, and says, you came from Lificent, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I don't know what's happening down there, but I think something big is happening. So half my customers have gone. Just disappeared.
Oh, and she was starting to hold out a letter towards you, which she slowly starts to return to her shawl.
Hold on now. What the hell was that?
I was going to ask if you could deliver this message to my son in Lificent, but I don't know if I want this message going. It's very important, and if people are missing, I don't want it going there. I'll just wait. He should be coming in a week or so.
I don't think so, lady. Everyone is gone. All the men there are gone. In fact, that's part of why I came here in such a rush, and the horses broke all my bottles. Apparently, all the menfolk have gone missing down there. Carassus, she's the girl that I supply down there. All the men are gone. They sent out teams looking for people, and those teams went missing. Sent out more teams looking for those teams, and those teams went missing. So she kind of asked for my help. I just came. I don't know what to do, really. But she did offer a hell of a lot of gold.
Gold, you say?
The gnome shoves the missive under her shawl and seems to brighten up quite visibly at the mention of gold.
I could help. I've been known to hit a few knees with my stick.
And she takes her cane and waves it in the air. She does look quite wobbly when she lifts her cane off the ground.
Lady, you can't even stand straight on your own.
But if my son is missing, I need to go and help him. Also, you mentioned gold. So, me and you, dwarves and gnomes, what do you say? Gold?
Let's go. She starts heading over to the door, and you hear as her cane touches the floor, and she is hurrying along. You have the feeling that you could sit probably having a 10-minute conversation at the bar before she reached the exit.
Come on.
Oh my God. I haven't even decided if I'm gonna do it yet. And besides, we need help. We need a lot of help.
And then she lifts her cane and she says, well, we've got thunder. And then she lifts up her left arm and she pulls like she's holding up her muscles. But it weirdly seems like her bicep is the wrong way around, like it's hanging lower than her shoulder. As she says,
And here is rolling
as she twirls her arm.
lightning. Wait, did I call the other one thunder or did I call it light? This is thunder. This is how.
She's continuing to walk, discussing thunder and lightning. towards the exit.
Goodness, the people in this town.
So what is everyone else doing?
Oriel, I'm watching Santalarian and Darby playing and drinking the shared drink that I paid for.
That you're not drinking at all.
That I'm not drinking.
As the gnome woman takes a couple more steps and she abruptly stops her discussion of thunder and lightning, and she turns and she points thunder, which is her cane, to confirm. And she points thunder at Darby, the half-orc, and she says,
And you? Are you not coming with? Do you not like gold? I'll share it with you, but the half-elves, they don't look strong. Not like me and this here dwarf. You look strong. You obviously are very much a fighter.
I am a fighter.
And a man of words, I can see. So, well, look, sir, it's the dwarf, it's me, and it's him. All right, let's go. Leave the half-elves to their drinking.
No, I want to come with. Please.
the gnome looks you up and up because they are much, much shorter than you. And
Oriel like puffs up her chest and like stands like the hands on the hips posed to be like, I'm strong too, I think.
the gnome looks at you and says,
What do you do?
I can make a lot of pot plants.
For what purpose?
No purpose, really. I just like pot plants.
Look, dear, if you want to sell yourself to be on this adventuring party, you're going to have to do better than that. My son and the gold is waiting.
Zan,
If Oriel doesn't come, then I'm not coming.
Zan, please come. Zan, please.
Xantalarian stands up and strikes a pose. And he says, Don't worry, lady. I will save your son. This town sounds like the kind of place where I am needed.
You mean a town with just women? I see what kind of man you are. But look, if the orc isn't gonna come without you two elves, then I guess we'll just take what we can get. Isn't that right, Rain? Come on, Rain.
Wait a minute. I haven't even accepted and going with the Xantalian guy. He's going to gamble our gold away. You sure you want to do this?
Rain, please come. Please.
Fine, let's go then.
Okay, let's settle then.
and the gnome continues on the way towards the door. What is everyone doing?
Oriel walks past the gnome.
You do so very easily.
She's gonna be another, 10 minutes. We should have a drink.
Yeah, good idea. And then how about you just pick her up on the way out and pop her back behind the counter?
Sounds like a plan.
Rain was actually, as everyone's deciding about what to drink, Rain was actually behind her, trying to decide if she should pick her up or not. Is it rude?
So as the gnomish woman is slowly making her exit, waving her cane, there is a dwarven female behind her making gestures with her hands, trying to decide if should she pick the gnome up, should she leave the gnome alone, should she redirect the gnome. There's a lot of hand gestures going on around the gnomish woman, but most of the rest of the party doesn't see it because they're all being at a very high height. They just see the tops of heads as the gnome and the dwarf are exiting the room. Roll perception for me, everybody.
10.
6.
15.
Everyone who's over 5.
22.
And especially the half-orc hears her neighing from the horses as one goes, hee, and you hear a definite thud, and you hear John say, and that's why I don't use horses. It sounds like a ruckus outside with the horses.
Oriel runs towards the horses.
As you run outside, you see the town of Wristrin, which is your hometown. You see There's the blacksmith up the road. There's also the local eatery, and there's various houses. And you see just outside the tavern that there is a wagon that has some broken bottles in it and a broken cask in it, as well as 2 horses hitched to the wagon, but the hitch is a little bit loose, and John is lying on top of the hitch, trying to stroke the horses at the same time, trying to use his teeth to remove the hitch's pin.
John,
Yes.
do you need a bit of help?
Oh, yes, please. So much so.
How can I help?
He raises his eyebrow at you and he shows you that the hitch, upon closer inspection, the hitch is very clearly broken. So if the horses were to go at a speed, they would split from the hitch and split the wagon in 2. I need to fix the hitch, but the horses
Okay,
are going to break it more.
I will get Darby to hold the horses.
Okay, you're going to get the half-orc to hold the horses.
Yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. I'll hold the horses.
Okay, you can hold the horses.
And then she goes and she starts stroking
Okay,
them.
roll animal handling for me.
19. 21.
You stroke both horses simultaneously, and being that you know Rain and she's been in town a couple of times to drop off beer and alcoholic goods of that kind, the horses know you and are quieting down as you stroke them. And John proceeds to remove the hitch and take it down the road to the blacksmith.
There, little dipper. There, big dipper. It's okay.
As you stroke them, you're pretty sure those are definitely their names. Those are definitely their names. What are the other 3 of you doing? So is our half-orc and our half-elf trying to drink at the bar?
Since we are sharing a drink, Xantalarian is trying very hard to make sure that he drinks more of half of this glass of ale than Darby does.
And Darby's okay with that.
All right. So as you guys were having this discussion with the gnome, no one had bothered with the drink. But as the gnome took one step, Xantalarian managed to down 80% of the half that you had. And Darby takes the last swig, which does taste vaguely of Xantalarian, which Darby is okay with.
Totally.
Good. And what is our dwarf doing?
Rain, having given up, decided not to pick up the old lady. Having heard the ruckus outside, she runs outside. And it's like, damn it, what has John done with my cart? He better not have messed up my alcohol.
Well, you see that John is heading down the road carrying the hitch and taking it to the blacksmith. Your horses are being stroked by the half-elf Oriel. And in the back is the broken bottles and the broken cask that was there before.
Okay, Oriel, what did John do to this?
He broke it.
Where is he going now?
That way.
She points down the road, as you do in podcasts. You make gestures of where everyone is going. She does,
And she points towards the blacksmith.
which she does.
Oh, okay then. Sounds like he's gonna go get it fixed. Should we? That lady's still walking towards the door.
I don't know. I walked past her.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get her, pick her up, get this thing moving. Rain walks back into the bar.
The gnome is still making her way across the bar. She's probably 2/3 of the way across now.
Lady, this is taking far too long. You two, let's go. She picks up the gnome, walks outside.
You pick up the gnome female, and her feet are probably about 10 centimeters off the floor because being a dwarf, you don't have that much leverage over the gnome, but you've got some space as you walk out carrying the gnome. She is quite light. She does wiggle in your grasp as she says,
I might have been into this when I was younger, but now watch your hands, missy.
Don't think anything of it. It's time for us to go, that's all.
That's what they always say.
what does Xantalarian and Darby do?
I slowly get off the bench, the bar stool, and saunter outside, as one does when one is as hot as I am.
says the male half-orc as Santalarian removes himself from the chair. So, as you approach outside, Santalarian, you notice Oriel stroking 2 horses. You notice the dwarven female Rain holding a female gnome of elderly age as they head towards a cart that has the horses tied to them but not hitched. So the mechanical construct that holds them to the cart is gone, but they're still tied to the cart. And in the cart is some broken bottles and a broken cask. And the rest of the town is going about their day as per normal. And you do notice John is dragging a hitch down the road towards the blacksmith.
Okay, so how long do you think this is going to take to be fixed? Should we not make alternative arrangements?
Well, you know, having been quite a good confidant of the local blacksmith, as you've gambled away many a night, that Cyrus is very slow. Cyrus knows he doesn't get that much blacksmithing work in your small town of Wristrin, so he drags it out because he has come up with the most insane idea for payment is he charges per day, which in blacksmithing is unheard of. He is quite a savvy businessman, but a very bad gambler, which is probably why he needs to charge per day. So you could estimate that the hitch being fixed, at least 3 days if it's missing a bolt.
So listen, my lady gnome, I think you should stay here and wait for John to get back with the hitch. The rest of us will go ahead.
But okay.
Mostly because traveling with a lady such as yourself, you should be transported in better style.
Okay, roll persuasion for me. And the
19.
19. The female gnome, as she's in the hands of the dwarf, says,
All right. But you'll bring my son back to me, yes? Yes? You will bring my son?
Xantalarian gives a very fancy bow and he kisses her hand and he says, Of course, my lady, of course.
She turns her head towards Rain behind her.
Okay, you can put me down. Enough with the hands.
Oh, thank God.
She puts her down. And the gnome woman heads to the steps of the tavern to sit and await the hitch. And she says,
His name is... hold on.
and she reaches into her shawl to pull out the missive, and she squints at the letter that she wrote, and she says it's Knaffen. Yes, that's it. That sounds about right. Knaffen. And then she gives Xantalarian the letter. She's like, also give this to him when you see him.
I will, my lady, I will.
Thank you. And she goes then sits down and she's like, they weren't ready for thunder or lightning. What are you guys doing?
I'm still petting the horses.
You're still petting the horses. The people in the town look at you as they pass by, and a lot of them roll their eyes with a vague sense of, really? The horses again?
Shh, it's okay.
The horses are still equally calmed, but as you keep whispering, shh, it's okay, they seem to be a little bit skittish. After, shh, don't worry, horses, it's not weird at all.
Oriel, stop creeping my horses out.
Sorry.
Zant, help me get like some saddles out the back of the wagon. I think we can maybe take these horses just as they are.
Of course, but you know, these hands were not made for manual labor.
Oh my God.
Darby, how's about you help Rain take some saddles out of the cart?
Yeah, I'll help you.
Let's go.
The hulking orc. Yes, that's right. Haha, English. Using it. So the hulking orc heads to the back of the cart with the squat dwarf, and they hoist out 2 saddles for the horses.
Here we go.
Hey, let's get these on the horses. Oriel, stop creeping the horses out, but keep them calm, okay?
Okay. And then she like starts awkwardly patting, but like not moving.
So as Oriel is attempting to pat but not pat the horses, like, it's not weird. I'm allowed to touch horses. It's not like I've been listed on a horse offenders list or anything. As the half-orc quite easily hoists the saddle on top of the one horse, and the dwarf is on tippy toes pushing a saddle, trying to get it on the horse. Roll for me acrobatics.
8.
Rain is hoisting, and it appears she went under the horse to put the saddle on. She was going to tie the saddle at the bottom and then like swish it around to get it to the top. Then she's looking at the rope, thinking maybe I could stand on the rope to get it on. What is everyone else doing?
I am laughing.
Santalurian is laughing. So is the gnome woman. She's like, how did you even get those horses? Dwarves.
Do you need some help?
No, I don't need some help because I can do this all by myself.
Are you just being sarcastic?
No, I'm not because, yeah, I am. Okay. Just help me.
Okay. So Darby puts it on for her. And then she's holding onto the saddle while he pushes it over.
Okay, so Darby puts the saddle on the horse. What is everyone doing now? Both horses are saddled.
Rain walks over to Zand and punches him in the belly button. That's for laughing at me.
In the belly button.
Well, it is the max of her reach, so please roll strength for me. 4. Okay, please roll luck for me for shits and giggles. Zant? Yeah, so roll a d20 and then I'll tell you what it is. 9. Okay, so as Rain goes to attempt to punch Xantalurian in the stomach for laughing, because Xantalurian is laughing so hard, he is almost doubled over and he gets a light flick into what is probably his private area. The laughing becomes quite high-pitched at this point. It wasn't with much force, however, so it does pass quickly.
Rain, if you wanted to get intimate with me, you just had to ask.
I didn't want nothing from you, but you got what you deserved.
You better not want anything from him.
I want a bag's the front seat. Shotgun.
So as Oriel calls shotgun on the front seat of the 2 horses with the saddle, the horse looks quizzically at her and hoops.
Did I get spat on?
No.
Okay.
Out of character question.
Yes.
Hit that question.
How heavy
It's a
is
question.
the half-orc and the dwarf? Can the horses carry them?
How heavy is the half-orc? As we ask
80
females
kgs.
about their weight. 80 kilograms, all right.
You're a very skinny half orc if you're 7 feet tall and only 80 kgs.
I'm a little 30.
He's
you're a
very
little
well raised.
twiggy.
It is twiggy for a half-orc, but as you know, this is not a half-orc fighter. This is a half-orc wizard. It is a wizard. And the dwarf?
How much does a dwarf weigh?
How much does your dwarf weigh?
My dwarf weigh.
Not generically.
Well, she doesn't tell secrets, but they're her horses. She's ridden them before. They can carry her.
She knows that definitely the left horse named, what is your horse named?
Blue.
The left horse named Blue, also known to Oriel as Little Dipper, is able to definitely carry the dwarf. You look at your half-orc friend Darby, and you are pretty sure that Darby could possibly carry the horse. But the other way around,
Shotgun on Darby.
we'll drag the horse. Drag the horse. Not really the strongest half-orc, but could definitely drag the horse.
Okay, so it looks like we've only got 2 horses. Rain, you take one. Oriel and I'll take the other. Darby, sorry, you're on foot. Let's go.
That's not nice.
Everyone mounts the horses. Please roll acrobatics for me. Rain.
To climb on the horse.
It's my horse, y'all. And get on.
I'll give you advantage. You can roll another d20 because the horses know you, and Blue is like, shame, my owner is short.
I'm going to change the
So you take the best roll of those two, and were they both bad?
Just
Yes.
9 and
What was it? Sorry, what am I rolling for?
Acrobatics.
10.
You try to get your foot in the saddle, but you know if you lift your foot too high to reach into the saddle, you're going to tip over backwards. And your armor is quite heavy, so you're pretty sure you'd take a long time getting back up. So you're like, oh, should I put my foot in? And then the horse Blue tries to like lower himself more for you to get in. And you think with a jump, you could definitely get in the saddle, which you attempt to do, and as you put your foot in, your foot definitely goes into the saddle, and you bring the other leg around, and it just clips the back of the horse, and you land face first into the horse's mane, but you are on the horse. You'd need to swing your other leg around.
So she swings the other leg around.
And places them into the stirrups. All right.
Yes.
Rain is on Blue.
Okay, Oriel, let's ride.
and then she picks up the reins and she goes,
She goes, yeah. All right. The horses begin to canter in which direction?
Hey. Hello, guys, slow down. You're going in the wrong direction. We should be going back this way.
Back towards the way that the cart came from is, you would all know, the town of Lissifin,
Lisbon. Okay.
which is your closest sister town. It's
sorry.
probably 20 k's away.
Sorry, turning around. My bad.
And then the gnome lady shouts after you,
You know, I found it useful when I was in my adventuring days to ask for information. Just saying.
But we know where we're going.
says Rain.
Sorry, what? You said we should ask information?
Oh my.
She shouts after you as Oriel turns around and passes Antillarian. She shouts,
Ask Rain. Rain came and said gold, and then we all got distracted by gold and men missing that we all were going to go. And now what do you know other than that there's gold and men missing?
I know Xantalarian's going in. That's all I need to know.
the gnome shakes her head and puts her hand inside her head inside lightning, which is her hand, and just shakes her head sadly, and she goes,
In my days, adventurers were way better than this.
No one cares about your days.
the gnome raises up, tries and realizes the half orc says this, and she's like,
Yes, well.
Well, you're fat too.
does Oriel say that?
No, I was mocking the gnome.
Okay, I'm just shaking.
Okay.
Rain, what was she talking about?
So are you following behind them, Darby? Or
No.
next to the horses?
I'm following behind them.
So, following behind them, you see the dwarf sitting quite happily on top of Blue, and you see the second horse holding the back of Xantalarian, and you assume Oriel, because Oriel's probably shorter, so you can't see past Xantalarian. And you see their tails wafting in the sun quite happily.
You guys are mean.
I was still asking Rain a question.
As they ignore their half-orc companion.
I can't hear him.
You guys are really mean.
Rain, what was she talking about?
I'm not sure. Oh, well, you guys weren't there when we were having this conversation, right? Okay, so I went over to Lifferson this morning to drop off some alcohol, as one usually does. I was speaking to Carassus. She's the bartender lady there. She says that all the men have gone missing in the town. Like, nobody. That's everyone who buys my booze.
Do only men drink in that town?
Well, not really, but I mean, that's like 50% of my profit gone. I can't have that. Anyway, listen. So she said that they sent out some people who work in the field between us and them between us and them, and they just went missing. So they've been sending out men to go and find them, but now there's no men left in the town. It's a boob fest out there, guys.
So is this just a giant? It's a boob fest. What? Oh my god!
You know that is the correct collective term for a bunch of women.
I've never been in a boob fest before.
Xantalarian is laughing. We're pretty sure Xantalarian's been in a boob fest. As his character class, if you had listened to the discussion before the session, is sexy rogue.
Not just a rogue, but a sexy rogue. I've never been in a boob fest before. Are they not just playing like a giant game of hide and seek?
Oriole, it's not a real festival. There's just no men left in the town. Come on.
Some people would celebrate that, others would not. Who knows? It's a big world out there.
So, anyway, so Carassus is offering gold for us to help her or help the town go find what's happening to all the men out there. So, are you guys sure you want to do this?
I'd love to help.
Says a voice from behind you.
Oh, yeah, Darby.
As Rain looks behind and recognizes that the half-orc is still in fact in existence.
Sorry.
Well, Rain, you said my two favorite words, gold and woman bartender.
Not so sure she said woman bartender. Probably
She
just
said
said
boob
boob
fest.
fest.
Okay, so we good?
We're good.
All right, let's go then.
Yeah.
Your horses saunter out of town. Everyone roll perception for me.
19.
15.
Anyone with a natural 20. Only a natural 20 will hear this.
No.
As the gnome woman says, I'm sure they should have gotten supplies first. As the horses head out of the town of Wristrin towards Lucifin. As the horses saunter out of town, as a gnomish woman is shaking her cane and her arm, shouting, I would have gotten supplies first, and waving her thunder and her lightning at the four adventurers, two on one horse, one on another, and a sad half-orc male following behind the horses. As they head on out to the nearest town of Lucifin, which is 20 kilometers away, which is missing all its males, and as they have so aptly described, is now just a boob fest. So, in our party, our wondrous adventuring party, we have Xantalarian, the sexy rogue. We have Darby, the half-orc wizard. We have Oriole, the female sorcerer. And then we have Raindrin, the dwarven female paladin.
Paladin.
Yes, I know it's a paladin, but
No, it's
that's an
paladin
inside
now.
joke. It's going to be a paladin, wizard, and sexy rogue. We just need to find something for our sorcerer. But I'm sure a saucer.
Saucy sauce.
The saucy sorcerer.
The saucy sorcerer who is like,
Boob fest.
playing Xantalarian, we have.
I'm Wednesday.
And playing Darby, we have.
Nicole.
Playing Oriole, we have.
Kirsten.
And playing Raindrin.
Kut.
And I'm Carla, the GM, and I hope you guys have had a really good time. It is the first one, and as usual with all adventuring parties, it takes a while to get going, but at least we didn't go shopping. I mean, who needs supplies for adventures, right?
Overrated.
So thank you to my players, and thank you for listening. And a big thank you to Central City Comics, who have helped sponsor the show and helped pay for our microphones. And you can see and find out more about them in the description below. And please remember to follow us on all the social medias. And we're at Dnd with no B, just a DUM. Twice. So nice we said it twice. And for some behind the scenes pictures, some random talking, and possibly a Google Drive of notes from the characters. Who knows how good their note taking skills are. Hopefully better than their quest giver asking skills. And Please remember to rate and review us if you enjoyed this podcast and share it with your friends. They also need to clap in their cars or houses alone at the amazing adventures they just heard.
Because you can only listen to a podcast alone.
Well, I mean, you can, especially a boobfest one, because now that is what we are claimed as. Happy Women's Month, everybody. Boobfest! Woo! Woo!
We're the only 2 males in the village.
Wednesday, what kind of rogue are you?
A sexy one.
Sorry, let me put here sexy.